Hey everyone, it's Candace. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm talking about something that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is scrapbooking. So I would really love to just do probably a little mini series. I don't plan on turning this into a scrapbooking channel, but in the nature of me following my many passions and interests, um, I really wanted to just kind of introduce you all to a hobby that's been in my life for, gosh, over 15 years at this point. It's kind of scary to say that. And, it hasn't been 15 continuous years of scrapbooking, but I have, that much time under my belt at this point. If you're new here, this is a troll free zone, as I like to say. So if you're like, what is this girl talking about? I don't like her. You can just, either way, exit out the browser that you entered. No hard feelings. So let's hop into scrapbooking. Long story short, I definitely think that my um, inclinations for scrapbooking have kind of been with me my entire life, but it wasn't until high school. I want to say I was like 15, and my mom got me a scrapbooking kit. I'm pretty sure it was from Sam's Club. It was like one of those things I was out at the holidays, and it was like an actual tote that came with a matching scrapbook. You can see it was kind of burgundy, and it basically had like everything that you need to scrapbook. And I remember, I'm pretty sure it was like my favorite gift that year. I fell in love with this immediately, and I ended up getting a subscription to a scrapbooking magazine for a year. um, I started like going to the craft store a lot and like getting really involved in scrapbook paper and like the whole thing. I went down the rabbit hole. And so this is the very first scrapbook I ever had, and it's the first one that I completed. But I really just used it to document memories in my life that were really important to me. Trips that we might have gone on, events that I went to. There was like a poetry convention I went to, graduations, birthdays, um, people that were important to my life, my parents, my first dog, like stuff like that. I did one on like my love of books, and so I made a little pocket to keep all of my early library cards. And then this is the second one. So I did a lot of scrapbooking, kind of fell off during undergrad and a few years afterwards. And then I got back into it, and I ran out of space in the first scrapbook. At the time, I didn't realize that you could, like, most of these books are expandable and you could add pages. So I just thought, oh, I've got to get another book. I had started doing some college things, but I got a little stuck by just the overwhelming breadth of the experience I was trying to document. So I just kind of paused on it, and this book has really become like a chronicle of exciting moments in my 30s. It's been birthdays, grad school. That's really all I've done so far. I think I just want to share why it's so therapeutic and fulfilling to me as a hobby. So, one of the things that I really like about scrapbooking is that I get to tell my own story and document my own process with my hands. And I do so much mental work, like daily at work, obviously, and then so much, being a writer, a lot of that is mental. A lot of that's like up here on the computer. Even sometimes when I'm doing photography and filming, that's very digital, very on the screen. And so I like that scrapbooking takes me away from technology, and it grounds me very much in the moment with the physical materials that I have in front of me: a dried flower, a greeting card, a photograph, paper. Again, the embellishments and stickers and flowers and little things that I buy to kind of decorate and help shape and tell the story. So I really love the fact that it just gets me away from the screen. At very most, I might have some music playing in the background when I'm scrapbooking. Like, it's a little bit of a vibe, but I don't have to worry about distractions. I don't have to worry about feeling any type of way except the emotion that this memory is bringing me, which is usually joy or nostalgia, some form of sentimentality. The second thing that I really like about scrapbooking is it pushes a different side of my narrative brain. So I'm telling a story, And you have limitations. In many cases, you've got the limitations of a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. For myself, I usually kind of expand those limits a little bit. So I might give myself one spread, right? So 2 pieces of 12 by 12. You might do, more if it's a spread of 4, but you've got the container of the physical page, and there's only so much space that you can do with it. So if you want to include 6 different photos, you're going to have to layer those photos somewhat. You're going to have to do something interesting with them. You might have to print off smaller size photos versus larger 4x6s. So it's forcing you to think out of the box. Sometimes there's problem solving because what you want to put on the page, maybe it doesn't fit, or maybe it seems like there's too much space around it. So how do you fill in that space? It challenges, if you're a perfectionist in any way, it challenges your ability to accept flaws in your work and in the way that you tell a story. You'll see that very early on, because I was 15, I did a lot of the word and captioning in my scrapbook pages on printed paper because I didn't trust my own handwriting and I couldn't bear the thought of accidentally messing up a word. And so almost everything was printed versus, as you see, going further out, now I'm very comfortable with just using my a pen or a Sharpie and just feeling the intimacy of my own handwriting on the page, telling that story when I have to put in a caption or I'm writing something about it. It just gives you a deep appreciation for the life that you're living and the experiences that you've had when you're able to preserve them and honor them in a book that you can open up at any time to remember, to share with someone else. My scrapbooks for me are treasures, and because they're all representative of very specific, very personal moments in my life, in many ways it reflects the fact that my life is something that I treasure, and my experiences and the people in them are something that I treasure. Also, for me, just as an artist, it really brings together everything that I love. I love to write, I love paper, I love different colors, I love photographs, um, I love good design, I love books, I love paper, and it brings all of that together in such a beautiful and unique way. There's other ways that I have extended my art practice, like physically. A lot of it comes from the foundation that I have with scrapbooking. This is kind of like a very fun, very low stakes example of some of the other paperwork that I do that I take a lot more seriously and hold a lot closer, to my chest. I think the physical side of scrapbooking really brings back the things that we have lost in society today because everything is on a screen. There's so much that we're interacting with, but we can't touch. The other thing that I will say is really beautiful are the time capsules that are created. Towards the end of my first scrapbook, I wanted to really honor the fact that I love movies. It's one of the reasons I chose to study filmmaking when I was an undergrad. I have kept every single ticket stub since I was a little girl. I wanted to just kind of honor that experience. And what was really great was to see this time capsule of ticket stubs from different theaters and, different states, different places that I've been. And now when you go to the movies, everything's digital, right? We just scan our phones, and so there's no ticket stubs. So sometimes you're creating these little time capsules and you don't even realize it. And it's really nice and really cool to be able to go back and see that. I'm excited to share a little bit more, like I said, in coming videos, just a little bit about my practice, showing some behind the scenes things. But in the meantime, yeah, thanks so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video.